Just picked up my Retron5. Finally came in. It was pre-ordered forever. It was supposed to be a birthday gift for me, and it finally came in. So basically what I'm going to do is go through it, and we're going to do an honest, unbiased review and let you know if it's worth it, because in Canada I wound up paying $165 for this bastard now. So let's check her out. The box is really nice. It's actually quality stuff. It feels almost I guess you would say like it's raised. It's definitely embossed. It's shiny on matte. It's gonna look good on a shelf. The box is any indication on how it's gonna actually look. I'm liking the all black. When I saw the purple style again, I was like, nah, it's kind of been done already with the Retron 3, where it looked like Super Nintendo, the American-Canadian version. But let's open up this bastard. It looks like it's going to be awesome. On the back it just shows the Game Boy Advance, the Famicom, the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super NES, and the Genesis paddles on the back. And as if you have the converter, you can play the Master System as well. Alright guys, I shit the bed on this one. Don't open the box from the cool Hyperkin side. The console's not going to slide out in its packaging, so we're going to go on the other side. So here we have the system outside of the box. Try and get this around so it's not as shiny off the plastic. Just looking at everything right away, the paddle doesn't look terrible, but I can see what some people were talking about. It's got that weird shape, and this was designed to fit inside of the console on the top, not exactly to be ergonomic for your hands, but buttons feel pretty good. The controller itself feels better than the knockoff Super Nintendo style controllers we got in the past, or those terrible ones. If anyone picked up the Retron 2, those paddles were friggin' garbage. Joystick feels pretty good. That's what she said. Alright, let's take a closer look. Paddle or controller. Joystick's got that nice clicky sound. There's already a charge on it. We have left and right bumpers. We're gonna have a extra left and right button here. Select home, start. Your plus minus, and a button directional side. I guess that's gonna be our X, Y, A, B. Nice little H on there. Well, we'll definitely see if it holds up to games. This controller is going to probably be a bitch for some Zelda games and Mario. Trying to think what it would be good for Nintendo. You know, if it's not directional, we'll figure something out with it, right guys? Let's see what the hell's going on. Retron5. Here's the console outside of the box, outside of its packaging. It feels good. It's got like that not cheap feeling weight to it. This is the front view. This is the Game Boy Advance adapter part. We have a power button. Let me get in the light here, guys. Sorry. Retron5. These symbols in the front have a little LED light on them. They're going to light up when you have a cartridge in that slot. It's not like the other Retrons though before, guys. One game cartridge is all that you can put in at a time. If you have more than one in, it's going to cancel each other out, because really you're not playing the cartridge anymore. It's an emulator, so you're just ripping it and it's going to be, you're dropping the ROM. And we have our Super NES or NES, our Genesis controllers, controller port. Up on the top we have our Genesis and the SNES, NES, the Famicom slots. Doors feel good, the pins look good. Here, this is going to be like the cradle where, there you go. You little fancy bastard. Sitting right in there. Same thing on this side. Swing around to the back. On the back, we have our power, we have our USB, our micro USB, I'm guessing that's for our power, HDMI, and the SD card for the firmware updates. You know, I'm going to find an SD card too with some some emulation games on there, shove it in there, see if that's going to work too. Okay, the rest of the goodies in the box, we have power, we have the converters. This is so that they could ship one unit. They didn't have to change all the boxes. They just gave everyone the Japanese and I'm guessing PAL style versions. This looks like a European plug. What do we get here? USB ports or plugs, and ooh, it's a pretty good HDMI wire. Doesn't feel like the garbage that you pick up at the dollar store. So here's the Retron booting up now. So it just ripped and dumped the ROM onto the, I think it's 1.2 gigs. So this is just the startup screen. I threw in Spider-Man, Venom, Maximum Carnage. Let's test it out. This is the system lit up. Looks nice. I had to plug it into my smaller TV. So here we just entered the options screen. You can have audio, video enhancements, the image filter. You can change the scan lines from on and off to make it look more like a retro console. It looks really good.
I didn't in my case, so I'm fortunate, so I don't recommend doing that, but it would have been convenient to have all the systems at one time.
That's cool. You can use different controllers with different systems. Like this is the Genesis version of Maximum Carnage, and I'm playing it on a Super Nintendo controller. Super Famicom works as well. That's cool. Pulling the carts out is a bitch. The Genesis was unbelievably tight to get out of there. It's really snug. I just pulled out, and I couldn't videotape it because I needed both hands. I just pulled out a regular Famicom cart, which is a little smaller than a Super Nintendo, and it's got those contoured edges. So I usually find that they're easier to take out, and it needed to be rocked back and forth, and I'm afraid to pull the pins up. Example over here, like the RETRON5. The pins on the Super Nintendo are finished just from pulling it out, and I haven't even had this one for a year, so worried about the pins so far.
A pro and a con for the controller. I would say a pro is the home button. It's just so much easier to get to your game menu, your setting. You can change your audio and your visual, the scan lines, the different filters. There's 5 or 6 filters that you can play around with. The con for the controller, and it's hard to say, but right now the joystick is the con. So overall, in Canada, I spent $165 to get the RETRON5. I'll give it a 7.5 right now. Testing it out, I'm having fun with it. It's not terrible, but it's not something that I needed. As collectors, we have the systems. I've got the Retron 2, I've got the Retron 3, I've got the Superboy, like all the different things that I can play fast and dirty if I don't want to hook up the system. This guy, not everything works. The peripherals don't work with it. In my game room, obviously, all my HDMI ports are taken up by the newer generation systems. There's no RF, so if I could have went back on Wednesday when I was buying this, I would have said, you know, wait 6 months, wait 8 months. You don't need this yet. Pick it up when it's $100. But that's just my opinion, guys. Look at that beautiful box. Maybe I'll be saying that later.